Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is Troy with Cichlid Bros, and anytime I am down here in Alec's basement, we are doing something big. So today, we're getting a new big aquarium, we are moving fish around, a lot's happening, so let's dive right in. Alright, Alec, give us a quick state of the fish room and what we're going to be doing today.
Alright, so right now we have a juvenile male Black Nasty quarantining and growing out in a 40 breeder. And we have our kind of ultimate Mbuna 180 gallon tank here. And then we have our 220 gallon Central American filled with Vieja cichlids over here. And then lastly, our newest aquarium is my 60 gallon cube planted tank, which is filling in nicely. So as you can see, every tank looks really good, but we have even more upgrades coming today.
So these guys, the 220, what are in here?
Yeah, let's talk about these guys. So we have 6 Viejas and Spillum, which are the splotchy ones up here. My favorite, which is the smallest, back here, which is the Vieja maculicata, which is the black belt. You can see the black belt on him. A lot of times these fish are basically gray with the black belt, but this guy has reds, blues, greens, and it's just awesome color. And then probably the fan favorite is the biggest one hiding back here, which is the Vieja Argentea with the whites and silver and kind of gold shimmering body. And then the meanest one in the tank is the least colorful actually, which is the Vieja Finistratus behind the log back here. But he will color up nicely, and all these guys are growing up really well, but they have a lot more growing to do, and they have a lot of space to do it in here.
And you could probably fit a few more species in here, but yeah, the Argentea especially is like immaculate.
Yeah, that's an amazing find. A local fish store that was going out of business, somebody turned it in, and luckily I was there to swoop it up.
All right, so let's move on to the 180 here with the Mbuna. So you have some pretty rare species of Mbuna, I would say, at least just not as common.
Yeah.
A lot of people would think those are just yellow labs and electric blue Johanni, but what are they exactly?
I did the Masobo Deep Magunga, which are dimorphic, so the females are orangish yellow and the males are the black and light blue splotchy color. And so that's kind of the main group of fish in the tank. There's about, I'd say, 18 of those. And then we have a few oddballs. I love chew ears, which of course we have the camera on, so we ran back to his cave. There he is back in that corner over there. Black body with some light purple bars and a yellow fin, really cool. And then we have a few other oddballs. We have 2 Johanni in here, actually Mangano, very similar species. And then we have a few fish that are kind of waiting to be colored up. These kind of big purple looking ones. All the purple fish are actually really unique patterned Mbuna, which is kind of rare. But a lot of times they don't really show their true colors unless they are really dominant in the tank or they have a lot of females in the tank to show off for. So right now the Masobo Deep Magunga males are really dominating this tank, so those oddball males are kind of holding back their colors, but eventually they'll shine through, and they're getting pretty big, so I think that time's coming pretty soon.
And you've mentioned how this 180 gallon aquarium, even though you've loved it for years, you've had issues stocking the number of Mbuna in such a big tank. You just need so many fish, and you've noticed that maybe your volume of fish hasn't been big enough and they kind of get picked off.
Right, so that leads us into today's video, which is mainly about the Mbuna here and how this was designed to be the ultimate Mbuna tank. You don't see a lot of massive Mbuna tanks, and that's what I wanted to do here with a ton of them. But keeping the stock list high has been difficult. As you can see, they are not overstocked at all, which is really what Mbuna like to be, because they get so laser focused on one fish with their aggression. If there's not a whole bunch of other fish there distracting them, they will pick on it until it dies. And so we've had a few waves of fish getting picked on. It's in a really calm state right now, but I just really feel like a smaller tank for them where they can be overstocked will be a lot more beneficial for them. And with these rocks in a smaller tank, it's really going to fill the space with caves, hideouts, and territories where they can all kind of have their own place rather than so much open swimming space.
Yeah, so this might be the rare case where we're downgrading tank sizes for them.
Upgrade, yeah.
But in total volumes in the fish room, we'll be upgrading. So we'll explain.
Yeah, so moving on, the 40 breeder here with the grow out Black Nasty. It's grown pretty well. I'd say 2.5 inches so far in the few months that I've had it. It's a really good specimen, a confirmed male. When these guys grow up, they need a really big tank. They could probably get away with a 75 to 90 gallon on the very low end, so I thought about maybe getting something that size for him, but this is my first wet pet. I've always had community fish, even though they're cichlids, and this is my first one that's going to kind of have its own tank, and I wanted to give him the ultimate tank, so a 180 would be a fantastic size for him and provide a lot of space for him to grow fast, because the more water volume the fish has, the faster they grow, and I really can't wait to watch him grow. So that's the plan, kind of switch the Mbuna into a new smaller tank, make the 40 breeder more of a quarantine tank for new fish, and then put the Black Nasty into the 180 to really grow up, and then utilize the new tank for the Mbuna.
Yeah, and a reason you're keeping the Black Nasty as a wet pet solo is because they are so aggressive and they are so large when they reach their full maturity. So even though he'll be the only fish in a 180, it will grow and fill it out pretty quickly. And like you said, we're going to be upgrading that tank for the Mbuna to have a really good forever home and maybe a more manageable tank size for him.
And since you have the Dovai Quinn as the yellow jacket, I felt like I need to train my own fighter to be maybe the biggest, meanest fish we have. I know the Dovai are supposed to be the biggest, meanest, but I feel like the Black Nasty, if I train him really hard, he could be a worthy competitor. So,
well, I fed the Black Nasty last night just some pellets, and he attacked that like crazy. So, yeah, it's an awesome fish, and love when we have some of these guys.
Absolutely.
All right, so we are going to go out and get that new tank now, and then we'll come back and show all the changes that we're going to be making, primarily in this corner, upgrading this tank size like we said, and moving things around.
All right, guys, we're outside of PetSmart where we're going to get an upgrade for my basement fish room. Hopefully we can find a nice 75-gallon ensemble that's already pre-built.
So we are back from PetSmart and Petco, and by Cichlid Bro standards, this was one of the easier things we've done.
It was like the lightest tank we've ever moved.
So yeah, we have the 75 and the pre-built stand. We didn't really want to have to put together a stand or build one. We considered it. We also have the lids here that came with it, and then we have more sand, about 80 pounds here, about $140 of sand. Don't tell your wife. All right, so we're going to go ahead. What's the first step we're going to do here?
Well, I think we need to get the Black Nasty out of the 40 so we can drain that and move it. And so we can move the 75 into its place, escape it, and then fill water in it and add the Mbuna to that.
Also, we do have the paper background. We were going to consider painting the background, but we just kind of want to get this all done in one day.
Trying to make it a one-day project. I think I'm going to probably end up painting the stand as well. It's gray. It looks fine in here, but I would like to match it with the other tanks. So I think eventually I'll end up painting the stand and the background of the 75. But for now, this will do.
Yep, so let's get draining this tank and we'll start the process.
Let's do it.
So step one, we are filling the bucket with tank water, and then we're going to get the Black Nasty out of the tank. He is going to hate Alec for at least a month for moving him around, but it's for your own good, buddy.
Black Nasties hate to have their decor and tanks moved around, so we got to make sure this is quick and painless.
Training up this guy. He
really doesn't like it.
Freaking out. You gotta be better than that, Alec.
A lot easier if you just stay still.
Yeah, we're gonna need a lid for that bucket.
And we slide on a ridge.
All right, next up we have 80 pounds of aragonite sand, some fine, some slightly larger grains of sand there. Just starting to fill this guy up. All right, so now we are taking the rocks out of here, at least most of them. Some of these are the Aqua Decor rocks. As you can see, they get waterlogged by those tiny little holes.
These are sinking rocks. You have floating Aqua Decor rocks and sinking ones. The sinking ones you can really stack, and that's kind of the good and bad with this. It takes a little time to move, but otherwise they're pretty awesome. So we're going to try to do this as fast as I can without spraying everywhere.
And I think these bigger rocks and the rock work itself will be much better in the 75. I think it'll fill it in much better than this did. Felt like you could have used more rocks on this tank.
Sure.
Okay, so we were doing two things at once here. We were starting to drain the 180 to be able to catch the Mbuna a little bit better. We're going to start filling this tank as well. We have the sand, and then I love the rock work. It's a mix of those Aqua Decor rocks and real rocks, and there's so much more line of sight breaks and nooks and crannies, rock caves that all these Mbuna can swim in and around. I think this is going to look incredible. We are about to start catching these guys, which should be a fun project. And then we are also filling this up. Add some dechlorinator as this guy's filling. It's going to be ready for fish. And remember, we have a cycled canister filter from the previous tank. So we have that, plus the rocks have some beneficial bacteria on them. And we'll lightly feed the tank whenever they come in here anyway. So it kind of instantly cycles the tank. Just got to be careful the first week or so.
Where are you guys going?
Alright, so we got it filled up. We have all the Mbuna in here. It is just clearing up. The filter's just turned on. You can see the Mbuna. How many, Alec, did we have?
33.
33 Mbuna. So Alec's going to have to keep up the water change, but it's going to be kind of the overcrowded Mbuna tank with a great rockscape. Some of the rocks did float as they had to get submerged again, so we're going to go back in tomorrow and kind of reorganize this to how we wanted it. It's going to look awesome though. And then over here, the 180, we have the Black Nasty is back in the tank. He is pouting in the corner, but we changed it up a little bit. We had a couple extra Aqua Decor logs that we just put in there temporarily. Kind of like it because it's kind of minimal, but also gives him some structure to hide behind. A little bit different setup, and once he's big and just kind of floating throughout this tank, I think it's going to look awesome.
For sure. I love both already.
And then Alec, you reused these Aqua Illumination AI Prime lights, some of my favorites, and I think it looks awesome above the tank.
Really been excited to use these AI Primes. I haven't been able to because the braces don't fit on my canopies for the 180 or 220, but since I don't have a canopy for this tank, the brace fit perfectly, and also the light coverage is perfect to provide a little bit of shadow, a little bit of shimmer, and maximize control of exactly what kind of light we want, and the Mbuna look great in it.
Yeah, I think it's going to have really nice shimmer with the surface agitation, with the AI primes. Once this clears up, you're going to see that a lot more, but I think the lights is a really good option here. And also, just as a tease, Alec just ordered some new fish for this tank, so there will be a big unboxing for some new cichlids, some aggressive cichlids for that tank. And yeah, we're going to come back probably in a couple days with a clip of the cleared up tank. So let's snap to that now.
Alright guys, so here it is, the big reveal. It is 2 days later and the water's clearing up nicely, really showing how awesome this scape turned out. I love the overstocked Mbuna, and I think they love it too. They are swimming around much more relaxed. They seem to be having a lot of fun going in and out of caves, and I think they feel a lot better knowing that they can escape anytime they're getting picked on. There's a lot less open water in this tank, which is kind of the ultimate Mbuna tank that we've been talking about going for. The Aqua Decor rocks filled this scape up into 75 really nicely. The sinking rocks stacked up together really nicely. I am such a fan of the AI primes on this tank, shimmering over those Aqua Decor rocks, and I love everything about it. So let me know in the comments what you think about the new scape, and make sure you like and subscribe for more updates coming on this tank and my new Black Nasty tank, as well as the other ones as well. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.